Hey, good morning, Dan. It is Sunday morning, November like the 8th or something, maybe the ninth, I think. And as you can see, Preston and I were at a Minnesota United game last night. So I don't know if you've been following it. Hopefully you didn't see the results of last night's game yet, because otherwise you'll steal my thunder. But the Sorry, this is the first round of the playoffs. It's the best of three, and Minnesota's the higher seed, so they hosted the first game, and then this is the third game. So Minnesota won on penalty kicks in the first game. They lost. It was like 4-2 or something like that in Seattle, second game, and now this is the third and final deciding game. So, as you can probably see in this photo, we are behind one of the goals. So, as you know, in previous games, we've gone and sat in the supporter section. And I told Preston for this one, I didn't really want to sit in the supporter section. And the tickets actually were only like, I don't know, $7 more per ticket. And we sat in the 8th row on the opposite end of the field, behind the opposite goal, which, as it turned out, was perfect. And here's why. So, game starts, and Seattle scored in the 2nd minute, and the 5th minute, or the 5th minute and the 7th minute. Two pretty good goals, and it was just like, oh man, how are they gonna come back from this? And then in like the 35th minute, they got a free kick, about 25 yards out. And I can't remember which person took the kick from Minnesota United. But they, was a really sweet free kick over the wall and into the corner to score. Now, so now it's 2-1. Fast forward to like the 42nd minute, and one of the Minnesota United players starts, it's just they're chipping at each other, and he goes over and they get, how they do, they get head to head, and he ends up headbutting him. At which point the Seattle guy immediately falls to the ground and writhes in pain. Blah blah blah. You know the story. Every team does it. Quite annoying. And the Seattle, Minnesota player gets a red card. So now you've got, 4 more minutes of the half, plus the whole second half, down a man, down a goal. It's like, oh, fantastic. So second half, Minnesota's now attacking the goal that Preston and I are sitting behind. And they end up scoring 2 goals in the second half. Minnesota does. To go up 3-2. And it was just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe, and they're down a man. I can't believe this. And then in the 88th minute, Seattle ties it up. It was fine. Minnesota was having a really tough time the whole game clearing the ball out of their end. Anyway, Seattle had most of the possession, and so now it's 3-3, and there's 8 minutes of stoppage time, and then Seattle subs their goalie. And so Preston said that he had been reading somewhere, watching something, that they had, in fact, even before the game started, because we're on the end where the Seattle goalies were warming up, and there were 2 goalkeepers. One big one, last name is Frei, Frey. And then this other guy, I think his name is Thompson. Anyway, shorter, probably more like 6 foot taller or so. And Preston was saying that Thomas, the backup goalie, is actually their penalty kick specialist. And the other guy, Fry, was in goal for the PKs in the first game, and he's like, 6 out of 93 PKs that he saved, or maybe, that he's been in goal that have not, 6 out of 93 that have not been made. So anyway, they they sub Thomas in as they're getting close to full time because they go directly to PKs in at this level of the playoffs. So full stoppage time ends, and Preston and I then run around to the other side, to the supporter section, because we want to be on that end because that's where the PKs are. So the PKs start. I recorded every one. So here's the first one. And Minnesota's taking the first penalty kick. Now, I didn't let the video run long enough after the Seattle keeper, Thomas, dove, but immediately when he came up, he grabbed his hand. And then you can see in this next clip, he's meeting with the trainers. And what happened is when he dove, he somehow, even though the penalty kick was terrible kick taken by Pereira for Minnesota, he dove and he caught his finger. And actually, what we found out later is he broke the little finger in his left hand when he dove on that. This is the very first penalty kick. Oh, as you can see by that last almost save by Thomas, I mean, Minnesota's really lucky not to be down at that point, having missed two of the first three. So instead, it's now Seattle's made two of three. Minnesota's made two of three, and Seattle's made both heading into the third shot. And this is Morris taking the third PK for Seattle. Almost the underside of the crossbar, but enough for it to come back out and not go in. So by the hair of your chinny chin chin, right? So now they're sitting at 2 apiece after 3 shots.
got this.
Thunder.
So here's where it gets interesting. So now they've each made 5 apiece after 6 shots. And what's interesting is that you can see the... oh, by the way, quit texting me because I'm making this video. You can see that Seattle is their PK attempts are pretty high. I mean, they're like in the top third of the net. And I think that was a strategy on purpose, which explains why Morris ended up hitting the crossbar, because St. Clair had shut them down in game 1 in the PKs and had saved like 3 of them. I think they realized if they kick it low, he's going to save those. So they've been trying to kick it high, which I thought was super interesting and pretty smart on their part. So here we go into these are now the 7th attempts. So sorry for that hand waving in front of the camera. Of course, everybody's going crazy when Seattle's taking their kicks. But as you can see, Minnesota, St. Clair got his hands on that, but just not enough to save it. That close to winning the game. That close. Now that was a feeble attempt at a PK. I mean, it's just like it had no pace on it. I don't even think Thomas would have even had to have guessed. I think he probably just waited until it was kicked, and then he just dove and saved it. So. An equally feeble attempt. The Seattle guy actually waited, kicked it the opposite way from where he saw St. Clair dive, and just hit it off the post. Unbelievably. I mean, yeah. I can't believe they didn't win it right there. Does no one want to win this thing?
Continue to go. So if it's gone, then you start over.
I'm not built for this.
So I've lost track as to how many kicks we're in. I think we're going on to the 10th or the 11th. And now the fun starts because now we have the goalkeepers kicking, which is always fun. So Seattle goes first with St. Clair. Nice little stutter step, sends the keeper the wrong way and kicks it the other way. That was probably one of the best taken PKs of the whole team, honestly. But now it's up to the Seattle keeper. Broken finger has come in specifically for PKs, not to take them, which is the irony, but to save them. And he kicks the hell out of it. He kicks it so hard, bangs it off the crossbar, sends the ball back out to half field. Seattle loses, Minnesota wins, and Bedlam ensues. So no matter what happens for the rest of the playoffs, at least Preston and I have that moment that we can hold on to get us through the offseason. It was very exciting, full of twists and turns and irony, all things that you want in a good football match. So that is my story, and Paul Bunyan and I are sticking to it.